I mean, everything that we introduce to the world is shitty. Meaning white people.
I believe, and I've said openly many, many times, the West is the best.
Yeah.
I really think that white people are from like another planet. Because when we came to America, it was so nice.
Humanity has lasted for 150,000 years. Of those 150,000 years, all but a few hundred have had universal enslavement. Slavery, 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 all throughout history, all across the world.
So nice. It was just Indians, and they weren't even Indians. We called them that by accident, and we still call them that. Like we knew in a month that it wasn't Indians, but we just don't give a shit.
So I grew up with this noble savage stuff, I guess like everyone else, where you say, wow, you know, I got a lot of taxes to do. Boy, that noble savagery is starting to look pretty good right about now. I don't like that other guy. Noble savage, I could do something right there. Boy, it's pretty nerve-wracking to ask that girl out. Noble savage.
We ruined everything here. This was it was just coast to coast, just green and brown and beautiful.
I don't know, did you guys grow up with this noble savage stuff? You know, it's all over the media, right? Like Dances with Wolves and all that. It's all these, you know, we live at one with nature. We use every part of the buffalo, which is not true even remotely, but we live at one with nature. It's like camping forever with no technology at all.
And all the humans were just walking around with painted faces, just walking.
You're naked. Nothing's changed in 40,000 years. You spend 5 hours a day trying to get 2,000 calories. You're so malnourished that according to the skeletons that have been unearthed, up to 80% of children had 2 to 3 stall lines in their growth, which means severe malnutrition.
And they'd be like, ooh, that looks yummy, and then they just eat from the ground. And
the Aborigine comes up to the Fijian missionary and says, what are you doing all this crazy work for? We don't have to do any of this stupid stuff. The nature, the ancient ones, they just handed out this stuff like candy. We don't have to do anything. What are you, stupid? Ridiculous. I don't know.
Then they'd sleep on the grass, and they'd wake up and they'd fuck.
30 to 50% of the Aborigine children were killed. Infanticide. 30 to 50%. Abortion was very common. They would eat herbs, they would tie ropes or whatever they used around their bellies, the women who were pregnant, and slowly tighten them. They'd pound their bellies with rocks. And how would the babies be killed? Well, they'd be left behind when they moved camp. Therefore, slow starvation, exposure, thirst, or dingoes, I suppose.
Then they'd sleep on the grass, and they'd wake up and they'd fuck.
Or they would beat the baby's head against a rock, or they would fill the baby's mouth with sand so that it would asphyxiate, of course, and 30 to 50%. So I got to tell you, if I'm in a culture where anybody who asks any questions get killed, I'm wandering around naked, up to half my babies are being killed, there's lots of abortions going on, women regularly getting raped for disobeying orders, and then some incredible group of human beings sail up in this giant ship, and they have bang sticks and food, and they can see, because vision problems are huge in the Aborigine community, and they can hear, because significant numbers, even now, of Aborigine children, through neglect, through bad hygiene, through endless secondhand smoke, huge hearing problems. These people come along, I'm not sure I'd be lecturing them about how stupid they were. You know, like if some spaceship landed right here, right now, people came down, you know, they could moonwalk through time and do all kinds of like amazing stuff. I wouldn't be, I got a cell phone, you guys are idiots. You know, like, just have some humility. Maybe you got something to learn, but you've got nothing to learn because you're perfect and you're wrong.
And then they'd go for a swim and do a little dance. That was the whole continent, was just folks doing that.
no written language, no wheel, no two-story buildings, no pants. That's the one part I like. And you just keep going and going, right? And it's not a lot. It's like Groundhog Day in hell.
But I think we came from another planet.
What works in society? Free markets, free speech, equality under the law, freedom. You know, we kind of wrote it down. It's not copyrighted. Other civilizations, other cultures, we're not going to sue you. Do it. Be free. No, because we're certain and we're wrong.
And the reason is because we don't like it here.
And it takes a certain amount of maturity and a certain amount of deferral of gratification, right? It's painful to question your deepest assumptions, even your middle deepest assumptions. But we know that on the other side of that questioning is truth, and it's worth it. It sucks, but it's worth it, you know, so that's what we do.
I mean, why, if we're from here, if we belong on Earth, why aren't we comfortable on Earth at all?
Doubt. How do we get to the truth of the world? Well, we have to recognize that the truth is not currently where we are. That's the only way we can get there. There's a story in ancient Athens. It was Aristotle. There was this amazing, immense question that we know from being children back in ancient Athens, which is, what is going on with these tides? They literally could not figure it out. Aristotle used to stand down at the beach, and he actually would fall to his knees and scream in frustration because he could not figure out what was going on with the tides. Now, every other culture in the world, they had this answer that they were certain about. We know what's going on with the tides. It's magic. Now, magic may be a satisfying answer in the moment, but it doesn't really get you very far. It was all like, the sea gods are doing something. What? Magic. But as Aristotle had to sit with that annoying, we've all had that, you know, like a question that you have in your brain that is like, it's bugging you and it's bugging you, and we all want to do this magic answer, and the West is the best because we don't accept magic fundamentally as the answer to things. We doubt. Where is our position in the universe?
Why aren't we comfortable on Earth at all?
Europe and North America, asterisk not including Mexico, from 800 BC to 1950 AD, were responsible for what percentage of scientific progress in the world? 98%. 98%.
We need nice, smooth surfaces and right angles, and we need it to be cool and not too hot, just a little, that's just perfect.
There is no modern world without Europe, without whites.
Like, why wouldn't, when it's hot, why wouldn't we just, yeah, fuck it? Why wouldn't we be like that if we belong here?
So we've got these annoying questions, and we're willing to say, we don't know. Now, when you say you don't know, that's the possibility that you have to figure out a methodology that can have you actually know something. Do you know how recent it is in the history of humanity that we've actually had a methodology that gives us the chance to know something for real? Humanity, what, 150,000 years old? We've had a couple of hundred years where we can actually know something and know that we know it, and know that all the other explanations are false and that this is true, and it's really, really, really recent. And it took thousands of years to get to that place where we could know something and be certain of it. And it only happened because of doubt. The agony of doubt that leads to the, not just the peace of certainty, but the productivity of certainty. You know the old saying, the old statement, nature, we know this one, nature to be commanded must be obeyed. That's how you gain power over the universe, is crossing the canyon, the chasm of doubt. And that's the West.
And it's weird because people that aren't, whatever you call there's environmentalists, and then there's people who are whatever, they just hate environmentalists. But that's what people get angry at environmentalists, because they think they're slowing down the economy and creating restrictions. And a lot of these people are Christian. A lot of these people are very devout Christians. And that's such a confusing thing to me, that if you believe that God gave you the earth, that God created the earth for you, why would you not have to look after it? Why would you not think that when he came back, he wouldn't go, what the fuck did you do?
The dreaming, this metaphysical relationship they had with reality, it forbade the alteration of their environment. That's part of the animism as well, like everything has a soul, everything has a spirit, which meant no agriculture.
I gave this to you, motherfucker! Are you crazy? The polar bears are brown! What did you do to the polar bears? Did you shit all over every polar bear? Who did this? Who spilled this shit? Who spilled this? Come over, did you fucking spill this? What is that? It's oil, it's just some oil. I didn't mean to spill. Well, why did you take it out of the fucking ground? Because I wanted to go faster. I'm not fast enough.
So you have a culture, the West, which has doubt, which will not be satisfied with magic as the answer, or socialism. Actually, no, socialism, well, we'll get to that. All right. So we have a culture which is doubtful, and a culture which has certainty, 150%, no doubt.
And I was cold. What the fuck do you mean cold? I gave you everything you needed, you piece of shit. Well, because jobs. What is a job? Explain to me, what's a fucking job? You work at a place, and when people call when their game doesn't work, and you help them figure it out.
If you don't have private property, it's very hard to progress as a society, because those who plan more, those who are better, those who hunt more, who hunt better, who plan, they just don't get more resources to have more kids, and so you just end up with this continual stagnation.
What do you do that for? For money. What do you need money for? Food. Just eat the shit on the floor. I left shit all over the floor. Fucking corn and wheat and shit. Grab it up, make some bread. What are you doing?
The ancient ones, they just handed out this stuff like candy. We don't have to do anything. What are you, stupid? Ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like bacon around it, and I like when it has like bacon on it and